Dabs, it's Tortimer the Grey. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Pokemon Yellow Nuzlocke. Today we are going to be taking on the 7th gym in the Kanto region. First things first though, we've got to do one thing. Well, we got a couple of things we got to do first. Thank you guys so much for all of the feedback you gave me on last week's episode. Where were you? Your fossil came back to life. It was a Kabuto, I think. Torque got Kabuto. Do you want to give a name to Kabuto? Yes! Let's go to the nickname list. Let's randomize just because. But thank you guys so much for the feedback you gave me on last week's episode. I greatly appreciated it. We had a couple of things that needed some feedback from you guys, and you guys addressed all of that. So I truly appreciate it. Now let's see here. I don't know what this is, but I kind of like it. So let's go with it. We're gonna name this Kabuto Mimus. Kind of reminds me of Midas, which I think is a fun name. But this is Mimus, so I don't know where that came from, but it was interesting, so there we go. So Kabuto, Mimus, so that guy, there's no more room for Pokemon. Mimus was sent to the Pokemon box on PC1. Alright, so that kind of brings us to the next thing, though, because one of the things that you guys had to give me feedback on last episode, I accidentally violated the rules on last episode. We were in Cinnabar Mansion, or Pokemon Mansion, for the majority of last episode, and our role for Pokemon Mansion was that we had to do RNG rolls to determine every move we did in a trainer battle. And on a couple of occasions, I just totally forgot to do it. There was one instance even where I rolled, and I still did a move that was not in concordance with the roll that I did. I don't know what happened. We were talking about some stuff last week. If you guys haven't watched last week's episode, please go back and do so. I'd still like some feedback from you guys on what we were talking about if you guys haven't done so already. Although I think most of you guys who generally give feedback have already done so. Yeah, we were talking last week about what we're going to do for the Hexath'locke Season 6. And we got some feedback there, but we also got feedback on what we needed to do as our punishment, and pretty much unanimously, everybody said we needed to just take a death roll and be done with it. So, here's what we're gonna do. Now, I got my spreadsheet because it's dealing with it in the box is gonna be difficult. So let me pull it up here. Okay, so I've got it spelled out, and I actually need to add 19 Mimus Kabuto. Alright. So, what we need to do is, you guys said it's a death roll, and according to the punishment rolls that we have, the death roll is somebody on my team or in the box, any Pokemon that I own, is now dead. And there are 19, including Mimus, active Pokemon that we can potentially have die on us here. So we've got the 6 members of our team: Techno, Morden, Dopey, Luna, Kalik, and the Boulder are the current members of our team, as you guys can see from the sidebar there, because those are the guys I want to take into the gym. But in addition to that, we have Riker the Growlithe, Casatello the Staryu, Nermal the Tentacool, Libby the Krabby, Shaira the Spearow, Glyph the Magnemite, Slimer the Ghastly, Cerberus the Doduo, Dragster the Lapras, Sari the Venusaur, Javelin the Hitmonlee, Fiverr the Pikachu, even though Fiverr's Permabox, still technically eligible for dying. And now, 19, Mimus the Kabuto. So, here's what we're gonna do. We have 19 potential Pokemon. Let's see what it does, because we gotta get this out of the way before we can do anything today. So, here we go. Okay, so number 9 is Nermal. The Tentacool is unfortunately dead. Oh, that could have been worse, but still, it's not good to lose anybody, I guess. So let's deposit the Boulder very quickly. Oh, we got lucky there. Okay. All right. And so we need to withdraw Nermal and change box here. Yep, that's fine. We'll go down to box 12. Deposit Nermal into the death box. And then we'll go back to box 1. Okay, well, we got that nasty business out of the way. Now today, as I said before, we are taking on the 7th gym badge. And as such, we are going to be hopefully getting through this unscathed. But we do need to remember our role from the beginning of last episode and/or the end of the previous episode. Our Cinnabar Island role states that we can only use direct damaging moves on Cinnabar Island. We're not allowed to use any status inducers or anything like that. Now, obviously, that didn't apply to last episode in the Pokemon Mansion. It was a completely separate area. So if we happen to use a status inducer in there, that's not... we don't have to take a punishment roll for that. But in this gym, we can only use direct damaging moves, which shouldn't be too difficult. But I just wanted to spell it out here just in case. So if I screw it up, you guys can call me out on it. Okay, so what I've done since last episode, I grounded everybody up to level 45. Some took longer than others. Some were pretty close, but... this still puts us well under the ace, and some of the, well, actually, well under most of the gym leaders' Pokemon, but the rest of the trainers in this gym are only, like, high 30s or whatever, so, I wanted to strike a balance there. Okay, so, let's, if we get it, hold on, let's do a test here. If we get this right, are we capable of battling the gym trainer still? Because I want to do the quiz. Pokemon quiz! Get it right and the door opens to the next room. Get it wrong and face the trainer blocking the way. If you want to serve your Pokemon for the gym leader, then get it right. Here we go. Caterpie evolves into Butterfree. No. What? Metapod evolves into Butterfree. Caterpie evolves into Metapod. Now, and hang on here. I've been playing Pokemon for 16 plus years. Now, you can't tell me that I got that wrong. Whoops, alright, well here we go. So yeah, like it's a level 36 Growlithe or whatever, so obviously we're still gonna be OP compared to the Growlithe, but I didn't want to get like up to level 50 or something. Blorder's about to use Velpix with Torture's Pokemon, yes. Let me bring Dopey out. Dopey has evolved, I believe, since the last time you guys saw him. Now we do have one thing that happened, so you guys will see that instead of Psychic, we have Psywave. And that is because... Tort is very, very bad at his job. I was grinding up Dopey, and Dopey tried to learn Amnesia. And I was like, oh yeah, you know what? Amnesia would be better than Withdraw because that'll boost Special, as opposed to just Defense. And like, you know, that would be good. I could deal with that. So, we'll torture Pokemon now, we'll leave Dopey out. So I went to teach Dopey Amnesia. But apparently, in the first generation, it didn't ask you to confirm a selection. And so, one menu popped up, the menu to pick a move popped up so quickly that I just kind of hit A because I was trying to cycle through the menus. And it popped up, and Psychic was the first move on the list. And whoops, there goes Psychic for Amnesia without any possibility to like get it back or anything like that. We used our TM. Now, Dopey will learn the move Psychic in... at level 54, 55, give or take. So it's not a permanent loss, but unfortunately, Psychic was removed for Amnesia without it, like, questioning that at all. I just accidentally hit Psychic because the menu just pops up, and I'm, like, just cycling through, and all of a sudden, oh, poof, forgot Psychic, learned Amnesia, I'm like, no! So I had the Psywave TM from Sabrina, and so I taught it that, but apparently, and maybe this is true in every generation, I don't know that I do enough battling with Psychic types, or specifically the Psywave move, but Psywave is apparently a random damage calculating move. It can be anywhere from 1 PP or 1 HP damage to, I think, equal to the user's level or something like that. So it's a pretty crappy move, pretty crappy, and so I taught it to Slowbro, but it's terrible, so we're just gonna have to trust in Surf until Dopey's a high enough level to actually use or learn Psychic again. We'll torch change Pokemon now, we'll leave Luna out, she's doing fine. So yeah, there's that. Oh, I'm so glad that Death Roll didn't go worse. It probably should have gone worse, given that we, you know, had combined a serious infraction, but still. I'm gonna kind of switch things up here just a bit today, just to keep things interesting. Let's do the test, because now I'm curious. Pokemon quiz. Test your skill. There are 9 certified Pokemon League badges. No. You're absolutely correct. Go on through. Alright, but we can still battle if we want, right? Yeah, alright, perfect. That's what I wanted. Caterpie does not evolve into Butterfree. In the strictest sense of that question's wording, that was what I said was correct. You guys can't tell me anything else. Alright, Morden did stuff. Charmander, Torch Change Pokemon. No. Alright. Beautiful, beautiful. So guys, here's what I'm thinking. Because I want to give you guys kind of a follow-up to what we talked about last week. Because I was laying out my schedule for the next coming months, because most of my series are continuously ongoing, so it's pretty easy for me to project out what I'm going to be doing next month. And, you know, this series will probably be wrapping up before too long. Pokemon Showdown Gray version will probably be wrapping up before too long, so I've got a couple of slots opening up. And so I was thinking, okay, so I'm tentatively putting Hexath'locke Season 6 into the time slot. I think it's probably going to start beginning of April is what I said? Maybe mid-March, I don't... There's gonna probably be a couple-week break once this series ends, and before Hexath'locke Season 6 would... Poliwag evolves 3 times? No. Yes, I mean, it has 3 evolution potentials, but it doesn't evolve 3 times. So I've tentatively put in, there's going to be a couple-week break between the end of this series and the Hexath'locke starting, because a couple of things happened. Most of you guys were pretty in favor of getting a capture card, but people being, you know, philosophically in favor of something doesn't necessarily lend to, you know, anything really coming about of that. Like, we would have to put our words into action and get some donations coming in or something. And I just don't expect, honestly, with my fan base of either Pokemon or just in general, you know, seeing the support I've gotten through like Patreon and other random donations and things like that, I just don't anticipate that we're ever actually going to get there. And I could be totally wrong, but I just don't think it'll happen. Even though it sounds like most people are in favor of going that route, or would be excited if we could get one. Ground element type Pokemon? I didn't even see what the question was. No. Ah, I got it right. Probably asked if fire was weak to ground or something. So I've tentatively put the Hexath'locke Season 6 in for starting a couple of weeks after this series ends. Let's bring Boulder up. We haven't seen him much today. And so, you know, Aaron had a very insightful comment. And I think that for the most part, you guys, the core fans of the Pokemon stuff on this channel, as I kind of said last week, you guys probably don't care all that. Like, if it's a little lower quality, you guys will probably be fine. And you're probably just more interested in seeing the content and seeing that series come to fruition than you really care about whether or not it's perfect, crystal clear capture card quality. And so I think what we're going to do, I'm going to try and rig it up. I'm going to do my best to make it as high quality as I can. Yes, because you got EVs or IVs or whatever in this generation still. So I'm going to try and make it as best quality I can. You're only going to be able to see one screen potentially and things like that, but I think that that's probably going to end up working out. I don't know. I'm gonna do my best, and unless we like get big objections or big donations, I just don't think that it's probably gonna be something that it's realistic to really wait for the capture card, and it's just I just don't want to drag it out if it's gonna be like eventually I'm gonna end up doing it the same way just by recording the screen or whatever. It sounded like most of you guys were at the very least very much in favor of doing Pokemon X for Season 6. Team 28 contains Tombstoner? No, it's Earthquake. Or something, I think. So, since everybody's pretty much in favor of doing Hexath'locke Season 6 as Pokemon X, or a Gen 6 game, it'll be Pokemon X, then, you know, and if we're going to end up doing it by recording the screen at some point anyway, I'd rather just get the Hexath'locke done. Not because I want to get it done and over with, but because it should have been done and over with by now. Or at least, well, no, it should have been done and over with by now. If I had started it in the time frame that I generally was doing, you know, Hexath'locks, it usually took, you know, obviously this one's going to take longer than the usual Hexath'locke because we're not going to be able to emulate it, which helps because the game is generally sped up a little bit, and things like that, which helps the episodes go quicker as you're not spending as much time walking around or training or whatever. I'm actually just gonna, for the for giggles, I'm gonna run back and heal, even though everybody's pretty much okay. Blaine does have some higher level Pokemon, so I don't want to risk it by having lowered PP or whatever on. I figured I'd just go in fresh. So that's the goal. And unless I start seeing some things, I did make a comment in my Friday Time Shot episode as well, and that's one of my bigger viewed series. And the Time Shot community is actually great about supporting the content creators and things like that. So chances are we might get some donations coming in for that. But you know, I'll wait and see what people's reactions to it are. But honestly, at this point in time, I'm recording this before that episode goes out. But at this point in time, I am not anticipating probably going the capture card route, even though I think, you know, capture card could be really good for the channel in general. Like, I think there's a lot of games we could play. But, you know, it's a ridiculously expensive piece of equipment. It's not a very future-proof piece of equipment in the sense that, you know, like I just bought, with a bit of my Christmas money, I bought an Elgato, which is it's a capture device, but it's for like consoles and things like that. But it's an HDMI input, and pretty much we're going to be using HDMI for the foreseeable future. Like 3 generations of systems have that capability. I think it even has a composite converter, so I could potentially do that as well. I mean, so it works for numerous consoles, and it's kind of future-proof, at least so far as we can see now, whereas I'm not going to have to replace it anytime soon. Plus, it was barely over $100 or something, so I was able to buy it with some Christmas money that I had left over. It was one of those things. That one was an easy decision because there's so many things I can do with it. It'll be around for a while, but chances are, I mean, so the 3DS has been out for a couple of years. Chances are, you know, the way that the cycle generally works, some new kind of handheld's going to come out before too long that isn't going to be backwards compatible or whatever. And so then we'll start getting games for those new systems, and now all of a sudden this 3DS that we all spent a ton of money on, woo! 5-star! Mord can't learn more than 4 moves, delete an ornament to make it for flamethrower, yes! Get rid of that Ember! Boom! Flamethrower, atta boy, Mord. Blaine's about to use Arcanine, Torch change Pokemon, yeah! Let's Dopey. Got Dopey all ground up and fancified. Throw up the Surf. Whoa! With the critical hit there. Dopey finish it off, hopefully, maybe, please. Woof! But yeah, so, I mean, one of the main downsides of the capture card is that, you know, it's super expensive, and the possibility of us having to, like, replace it in a couple of years, or in a year or two's time. Whoa! Arcanine with the stuff. Relax, bro. It's gonna be okay. Please don't crit. There we go. Alright. I mean, it's too much. It is too much to ask from you guys. I know that, and so unless you guys prove me wrong in thinking that, we're gonna start the Hexath'locke here at the end of this series, a couple of weeks after the end of this series. So I started making the thumbnails today and things like that. I'm gonna have to revamp entirely the like layout I had set up for it because it's only gonna be a 1-screen layout again, things like that. So ha! The Volcano Badge heighten the special abilities of your Pokemon. Here, you can have this too. Tortoise TM38. Contains Fire Blast. Teach Fire Blast type of Pokemon Charmeleon or Ponytail would be good bets. Alright. Well, there we go. Gym number 7 is in the bag. That is very, very exciting. Let me run back here and we will heal up. Not that we really need a ton, but we'll go ahead and do that anyway. I'll heal your Pokemon for health. Okay. So yeah, that's just kind of how it's going. I wanted to give you guys an update on that just because despite everybody's best intentions, unless it turns into everybody's like, you know, everybody actually pulling together and you know, it's too much to ask you guys, and so until you guys prove me wrong on that, we're just gonna move on without it. And if we ever eventually get one and we decide we want to do some other fun series with it, that'll be fine, and it'll be great. But given the, you know, the core fandom on this channel being, you know, pretty a small but strong component, I don't think you guys, at least from what I heard, would really care if we do, as long as we do Gen 6, if it's slightly lower quality, and I'll try to keep it as good a quality as I can. I do have a new phone, And I do have a new, like, tripod, and, well, I've had this tripod, but I couldn't previously connect it to the phone holder that I was, like, last time I had this phone holder, like, one that you would use to, like, connect to your windshield, like, with your GPS or whatever. It had, like, this ball, you know, arm thing on it, and so, like, the camera would slip, you know, tilt down a lot, or, like, it was this whole thing. This setup didn't work very well, and so hopefully I can maybe learn from those mistakes and get a slightly better setup. Maybe the new camera or the new phone will, I mean, I've got a video camera, but I don't know. I think the phone's going to be easier to deal with probably in the long run, but I can give that camera a shot. I don't know that I tried it last time. I'm sure I probably did, but anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Tortimer the Great, and you guys have been great. And make sure those likes, comments, subscriptions for me, guys, and I'll see you all back here next time. We're going to head up. I probably won't include this in next episode. Although maybe we will. Maybe we'll surf up from here next episode and head up. Well, let's just do it now. Hold on. Let's just do it now. We're gonna head up here. We're gonna battle some trainers, maybe. This episode's not too excessively long yet. Is this a new area? It's Dupe's Claws anyway, so let's stop for a second and see Route 21. Let me look at my stuff, see if I doubt we would have had something for this already, but Route 21, no we don't. Okay, so let's roll. Let's roll. 16. Gosh darn it! What is with roll 16? Come on. Okay, so where's it? Route 21? Roll 16. A random Pokemon in your party must be moved to the front of the party. This Pokemon must go first in all battles until it dies. Now, I have a slight concern here because this is not really my, like, permanent team. I guess really if it's anybody but the Boulder, we're probably okay. But Sari should really be here, so if Boulder gets rolled in... Okay, so what I'm going to do, because Boulder is not a current... is this cheating? Is it cheating? Because, like, I don't want to be stuck with the Boulder on the team if I don't want to use, like, right? Because, like, I don't know. Let's, I think that's going to be fine, because Boulder, while it was being used for the gym, is not actually a member of the main team. He's a rotating team member at best, or, I mean, he's a rotating team member for sure, but, going forward, he's not going to be the first person on. So, let's withdraw Sari, just so this is all kosher. Alright, so, in order here, 1 through 6, we'll generate this for, 2. This is going to get bad. Okay, so Luna is the new lead of the team. Which is unfortunate, because Sari needs some levels now. Alright, and... Okay. So it wasn't affected by not having Sari on the team, but I want to grab Sari anyway, so let's do that. Alright, so... Let's surf it up. So the first one was Dupe's Claws. Normal is, of course, dead now, I guess, so if we want a Tentacle, we could do that, but we could also just kill it, because at this point I'm not going to be grinding up any new team members, probably. And another Tentacool. So yeah, we don't get anything for Route 21 except for a brand new team lead. That's literally like the 3rd or 4th time that we've rolled that, isn't it? Good lord. Because we had Fiber and then Techno and then Kalik for a short time, didn't we? So yeah. There we go. Trainer battle! But yeah, so I think I will have to confirm with a walkthrough or something, but I believe that starting at this point, we're pretty much heading straight from Blaine to Viridian City Gym, which means the 8th gym badge will be next episode, I guess. About to use Seadrill, will torch change Pokemon? Yes. In fact, let's bring Sari out. She can get some good Seadrill experience to herself. Queen of Crits doing her work, hopefully, here. Crit, 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 crit. Yes! Sari, Queen of Crits. So I believe that next episode should be the 8th gym badge. And then we'll probably have Victory Road, obviously, and then the final episode with the Elite Four and the Champion. So we're potentially only like 3 episodes from the finale here, which is kind of crazy. But I believe that that's kind of where we sit at the moment. So that's kind of cool. So I guess it'll be like 3 more weeks of this series potentially. Assuming that there's nothing else weird. No, that's no. Okay, well hold on, because the rules of the dice lock do state that we have to kill all legendaries, and I don't think it even means all legendaries that we come across. Potentially, so we may actually have to take an extra episode to go and we got to track down Articuno and well, no, we killed Zapdos and Articuno are dead, so we have to track down Moltres and I guess Mewtwo. In order to finish off the dice lock. So, I believe, and somebody can, growth. I would like growth, honestly, because it boosts special or something, but I don't want to get rid of any of the moves I've got either, so we'll abandon learning it for the time being. Tort defeated Fisherman. Sorry, I didn't mean it. So, yeah, I guess, and Aaron, you can probably weigh in here, but my guess would be actually we might have 4 more episodes because we'll probably at some point have to take a minute to go track down Mewtwo and potentially Moltres, unless Moltres is hiding out in Victory Road, which is possible. So we might have to do that as well, but, you know, just so a couple more weeks of this, and this series will be over, which is kind of crazy. It seems like we just really got going with it, but, yeah, there we are. It's, we're in the 20s of episodes and things like that, and we're wrapping up here soon. So that's what happens when you get to the 7th gym badge. I guess the game starts ending here, so we didn't really even consider that. But so yeah, and then will take a couple of weeks break, as I said, before the Hexath'locke comes back in. I'm open to potentially shifting the Hexath'locke if, again, like I said, people really do start throwing support behind. You know, no, do it with the capture card here. You know. If we can raise the money relatively quickly, then, you know, maybe I've got a couple of ideas for other series that I want to do, and so if it gets to the point where, you know, like we've got money in hand in a couple of weeks here or something, you know, before the start date that I'm thinking for Hexath'locke Season 6, if we manage to raise the money before then somehow, then I'm not gonna, like, you know, go against your guys' wishes and do it without the capture card just because. But I've got a couple of other series that I'd like to do. I really want to do. I've got an idea for an egg lock that I think would be fun, with a little twist on it. I'd like to try like a couple of these other locks that people have done, like wedlock and some of these other ones that other variants that you see out there that I have never really messed with, because pretty much the entire time I've been doing YouTube, for the most part, there's, I think, 2 exceptions. Oh, Luna's 47 already? Yikes. Yeah, we gotta get some other people in here. I mean, obviously exceptions because we did the Little Lock over the second summer that I was on, so I guess summer of 2014, right? Yeah, summer of 2014. I did the Little Lock, which was a lot of fun. Nobody watched it, but I enjoyed it. And then I guess this is really the only non-Hexath'locke Nuzlocke that I've really done on the channel. So I haven't really got to do a lot of other variants while we've been doing it, but so I've got some ideas pent up of things I'd like to do. Maybe we could try out, you know, one of the Drayano hacks or something that would be a little more challenging or something like that. You know, we can wait and see how that plays out. But if we don't, you know, get some crazy fundraising going here pretty quickly, then it'll end up being, you know, okay, let's just carry on You Wayward Son as we can, and we'll do the Hexath'locke the old-fashioned way. But I am open if you guys like really come out and support, or not even just you guys, because obviously there's only like a handful of you guys even watching this episode. But I mean, just, you know, the channel as a whole. You know, then we can change things up. I've got enough other ideas that, given, you know, a little bit of notice, I can throw something together to do another series potentially. So Sarah getting some stuff, seeking. Well, this is good. This guy will give Sarah some decent experience here. Some bulky water types help her get back up. I didn't bother training her when I was doing everybody else up, because I'm like, well, she's not coming to the gym, and I'm on an island of fire types, so it wasn't really going to work out. Alright, so this will be the last battle here today, I think. Oh, wow, this guy's got a full team. Alright, let's bring Sari out, let her do it. But yeah, yeah, so that's kind of that's kind of based on the feedback that I got last week, which again, thank you guys so much for continuing to give great feedback. 57. Well, I guess it was we were splitting it or whatever, but you know, so thank you guys for giving that feedback. I do appreciate when you guys, you know, take the time to fill me in on what your thoughts are considering a certain situation. And so based on that, I just want to kind of give you an idea of where my head's at. And I think I've done that pretty well. So I guess we'll see, you know, based on the feedback that we get from the Time Shot group, as well as, you know, if you guys, you know, have you know, a desire to, you know, actually support it or whatever. Again, it's too much to ask you guys, so I'm not even really asking you guys, but if you guys choose to decide to prove me wrong that it is too much to ask of you guys and you guys want to come together and do that, then, you know, great. I won't, you know, reject it, but I'm going to move ahead assuming that's not happening, but I guess we'll see. Alright, this guy has a team full of magic cards. He's literally the worst. It's not even a Gyarados at the end. Alright, well, Sarah's not getting much experience off of this. Defeated 6 Pokemon and nothing. Alright, well, there we go. Let's get back on the water. We gotta be close to Pallet at this point. Yeah, there we are. Oop. Pidgey! So there we go, guys. I'm gonna head up to Viridian City and we'll get ready for, in fact, let's just do that. And we'll be ready then next week to do, the gym, which will be very exciting. So thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Tortimer the Grain. You guys have been great. Make sure that those likes, comments, subscriptions for me, guys, and I will see you all back here next time. Alrighty, guys. Have a good one.